This is Andy's DIY. I'm going to be working on a gas tank for a 1978 International Scout II. I've already taken my old one out, but I'm going to show you the kit that I ordered and show you some potential problems you can get with ordering the aftermarket or the replacement tank straps with it. I just had to have mine. I just had mine sandblasted with the interior, and then just had them recoated. Because the ones I got, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can bend them, make them work, but they're not quite right, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So here's the Scout that I'm working on now. So the Scout I'm working on here, it's a 78 Scout II 345 engine. I just had the interior coated, and I had to have my this whole bed pan was rusted on it, so I had some new sheet metal put in. And you look at the coating here, it's kind of hard to tell, but I had the whole thing coated with this like a Linex type coating. I took my door panels out. It's all the way up to the firewall, but the whole interior is done, even the roll bar that's in it. But anyway, in order to have this done, I had to remove the gas tank. So, let's start right here. I wonder if I had some of this stuff uncoated up, or coated up here. Make sure when they cut your pan out that you keep track of where this mounting plate, your gas tank sits up against this, and then your mounting straps go here. So if you're installing or taking apart, your mounting straps will go here, and they'll go onto your tank, and then you have hooks that hang down. Your hooks, you have a hook strap, a hook bolt that'll go here, and a hook bolt that'll go here. And then blocking this thing, they'll have this to kind of protect them. This piece right here goes over that. I guess that kind of helps protect the gap there. The kit that I ordered, it came with the sending unit was already, the sending unit came mounted in and it was housed up there, so everything's complete. But I went with the plastic or the polypropyl, whatever it's called. I got the tank straps, but if you'll look, the originals, I mean, these are usable, but this bend is okay. But if you get to this end here, you can't. This is the way it came, like this. And I started trying to work with it, but really you'd have to go flip it this way in order to get this bend like this. The bend's wrong, so really this kit's really not set up well. You'd have to go and basically reshape the whole thing. My old ones are actually in decent shape, so I went ahead and had the guy sandblast that and just recoated them. So that's how this thing should look. So just whenever you get your tank straps, this is kind of problematic. As you can see, this needs to really be, it needs to be like that, and you basically have to reverse bend the whole thing all the way back. So I went ahead and recoated mine. So I guess be wary of that. If your tank strap's in good shape, you might just have them recoated. Okay, so I went back in with some galvanized this time. Anyway, you can see all this has been lined up under here. So just as far as taking it off, these are the last ones you want to take off, because if your tank's got gas in it, you're going to have a jack on here to hold on to it, so you can lower it down to be able to get to these things right here. So I'm going to do it in reverse order. I've got the back of the straps in first. I'll set the tank up in here. Since it's an empty plastic tank, it's pretty easy to handle. So I'm going to kind of set it up in here and hook up the fuel line, which is right here, and my connections right here, which I guess could be replaced at some point, but I'm going to put them back on. Hook those up, and then once you've got everything hooked up, then you can bring it up into here, and that's where you meet up with your hooks right here, and I'll show you that when it's finished here. Correction, I did move the bracket. I had it on this side of this plate. I moved it around to the other side. It's this much difference, but it actually makes the straps fit like they're supposed to. So just an FYI, I'm sure it would have worked on this side, but it's a little harder to bend them around. So I didn't pay attention to where, but I think this mounted strap goes on the back side of this bracket right here. Okay, so once you get I went ahead and replaced the fuel line here. Went ahead and got a new one. It's not long, it's maybe about 12 inches, then it connects into a hard plastic. But what you want to do is get your tank straps connected here in the back, and then you can let this plastic one or metal kind of wedge up against them, and then you want to connect. This is what you want to connect. You want to take your rubber fuel on the new one, and you got your two connection points right here, you can see. Just reconnect those back on top, and then you're ready to just slide it back up into place and strap it on. But you need to do that in this position first, and then slide it up into place. Okay, so now you see I've got the hooks. Got the hook bolts in place. So now all that's left to do is to slide the tank up in place, bring the straps around, and bolt the hooks. This is what you get when you're done. Just screw those screws all the way up in there, both sides. Get your straps up and they're tight. And just give it a shake, make sure it's nice and tight in there. And then what you'll have last is this little plate that covers, well, I guess that protects those straps where they fasten in. So you see I got the tank installed. It's in. A lot of fun there, but it's in place. The other thing to do is I took my filler out. I was going to paint, but I'm going to paint this fall, so I'm putting it back in. I've forgotten how to put this thing back in, but if you want to know here, the easiest way is just go ahead and take your tire off. And let me show you, you got to fish this in here, because I tried to do it with the tire on, it's just too tight. If you take your gas filler, you come way over here with it. You start kind of right here in the middle. Bring it all over here, and then you can get it up in there and you can maneuver it around. Try to get it like that. Not try to get it up in there. Alright. Last thing with hooking up your gas tank, you have to take this access panel off. This bolt here and this bolt here are what hold in your gas tank, filler, whatever you call this. This is your vent line, that's your actual fuel line here. These two here. And if you come down here, I cleaned mine up a little bit, but here's your my fuel line here, right there with the yellow stripe on it. And just copy your old one there, and you can get this online for about 10-12 bucks. There's the vent tube hookup right here, right next to it right there. It's kind of a pain getting up in here. This is your this is where they go in here. It's kind of hard to get to that. If you can, it'd be great if you could put it on your tank first and just kind of fish it into place as you're putting it in. Might make it easier. I mean, I was able to get to it, but it's kind of a pain. But I use the regular tweezer clamp one on this one right here. This one right here. So that's just a vent line. No fuel is really going through it. But that's your final part. You'll need to install these two rubber connectors to here. There you go, both of them right there. And then just fishes up there. And the best way to get this in, like I showed before, if you take the tire off and kind of bring it in from the tire side and just kind of work it around until it gets up in there. It's kind of a little bit of a pain, but that's how you get this back into place.